Hi, my name is Pat, and this is my channel, Book Chat with Pat, and I'm glad that you're here. I'd like to do a weekly wrap-up today on what marks the end of my third full week as a booktuber. I'm about halfway through the sixth and final book that I'm reading in the first round of judging nonfiction books for the BookTube prize. And I'll talk more about the 6 books that I read in this round when I'm able to, after the judging process has been completed. As I've mentioned in a couple of videos now, I'm well into my reread of George Eliot's Middlemarch, which I'm counting as my mammoth read for March, and I'm reading it with Classics and Company with their read-along, being led by the delightful Kim at Middle of the Book March. I've also completed my first mystery for March Mystery Madness. The first book that I read is called Ghostly Paws by Leighann Dobbs. And this fit the prompt, 9 lives. Read a book with a cat on the cover. So this is the first book in Dobbs' Mystic Notch Cozy Mystery series. It tells the story of Willa Chance, a former crime journalist who has returned to her hometown of Mystic Notch, New Hampshire, after a near-fatal accident, and after she inherits a house and a bookstore. One of the side effects of this near-fatal accident that she had is that she now has the ability to see ghosts, and her bookstore is frequented by several literary ghosts. Willa also inherited Pandora, the cat. Pandora is not an ordinary cat. Pandora gets together with other cats at night, and they talk and they plan and they discuss all of the weird goings-on about the town. And Pandora also has a way of talking or communicating with Willa, and she assists her in solving a major crime. The town librarian, Lavinia, is found dead in the library at the foot of a stairway. It is Willa who finds her. At first, of course, the death is believed to be an accident. Everybody thinks she just fell down the stairs. However, Lavinia comes to Willa in the form of a ghost and tells her that her death was no accident. And she basically demands that Willa must find her murderer. Well, this isn't exactly Hamlet. Willa sets about investigating the crime with the help of magic, cats with paranormal abilities, and several ghosts from beyond, and she almost gets herself killed on several occasions. Apparently there is a formula for cozy mysteries, and this one fits the formula. I found the prose to be kind of ordinary, repetitive in some places, and the dialogue was also problematic. Several characters sounded exactly the same. There were, however, a lot of suspenseful cliffhangers, usually at the end of chapters. I think there are 7 more books in this series, and I don't think that this series is for me. It was fun. It was a light, easy read, set in a cozy little New England village with a bunch of very eccentric characters and cats. I like the cats a lot. I also read Volume 1 of Heartstopper, the Alice Oseman series. This is a young adult graphic novel series about a friendship and eventual romance between 2 high school-aged boys. The series is currently under attack in several states in the United States because it depicts a gay relationship. I'm reading this series as part of the Read 24 Banned Books in 2024 challenge, which was created by the amazing MJ at Reading This Life. And I'll discuss this series after I've read more of it. And I'll do that in a later video. Finally, I'd like to talk about Alice McDermott's newest novel, Absolution, now that my book group has met and we've finished our discussion of it. Absolution is Alice McDermott's 9th novel. It's the story of American wives in 1963 accompanying their husbands to Saigon and serving as their husbands' helpmeets. This is the word that the novel's main character uses to describe her role in her marriage. Most of the story is told by Patricia Kelly, who was a very young newlywed in 1963 when she went to Vietnam with her husband Peter, who worked for naval intelligence. Patricia tells the story about 60 years later to Rainey, who was the daughter of Patricia's associate and friend in Saigon, Charlene. Patricia met Rainey in Vietnam when Rainey was just a little girl. Now, 60 years later, Rainey has reached out to Patricia with some questions about her mother and about their time in Saigon. We do get a small part of the narrative told from Rainey's perspective, but most of the novel is narrated from Patricia's point of view. In Saigon in 1963, Patricia struggles to fit in with the other wives when she is sort of forcibly taken under the wing of the much more assertive, and some would say bullying, Charlene. Charlene is the mother of 3 children, Rainey and her twin brother, and also a baby boy. Patricia is at first very intimidated by Charlene. She feels like she knows her type, like she's met her before, from the girls that she knew in college. She says of Charlene, quote, "She had the healthy, athletic, genetic confidence of one born to wealth." Indeed, Charlene is accustomed to getting what she wants. She latches on to the naive Patricia and kind of commandeers her into participating in her charitable work. Charlene is so forceful that she also, on the spot, changes Patricia's name to Tricia, a name she's never been called before. And Patricia doesn't do or say anything about it. Charlene leads what is referred to as a cabal of women, all American wives, who devote their energies to various fundraising activities in order to gain money to purchase trinkets, toys, candies for hospitalized children. In some of the most affecting parts of the novel, we see these hospitalized children, some burned by napalm, others suffering from leprosy. Charlene and her cabal, who live with cooks and servants and who spend their time at cocktail parties and luncheons, they provide a powerful example of the misguided white savior complex that permeated the early days of the U.S. involvement in Vietnam. When one of the Vietnamese servants makes a little outfit for young Rainey's Barbie doll, a miniature white silk version of the traditional Vietnamese dress, Charlene gets her newest idea for fundraising. She develops the next project around making Saigon Barbies. One of her servants, Lee, though Charlene also insists on calling her by the wrong name, she insists on calling her Lily, even though her name is Lee, L-I. Lee is a seamstress, and she is able to make these authentic-looking doll clothes for Barbies, who are then sold to people back home in the United States. Each Barbie is sold for $25. Lee makes 25 cents per outfit that she makes for the Barbie. As the novel progresses, we come to see that Charlene does what she perceives as good deeds for others while totally neglecting her own children. And that's part of the reason why Rainey is looking for some answers from Patricia 60 years later. Often Charlene's good works go too far because she doesn't really see the full humanity of other people. McDermott's writing is beautiful. We see, feel, hear, taste what it was like in Saigon. We also witness unimaginable horrors of suffering people. McDermott also captures exactly what life was like for these American women whose role it was to be simply a helpmeet to a man. And I think that we're also supposed to see these misguided good works of Charlene and company as a parallel to the misguided role of America in Vietnam. So that's it for this week. I hope that you're all doing well. Thanks for watching. I'll talk with you again soon. Take care.